Oh, Miss Nicole. I heard you're a very...
Oh, I don't know.
Honestly, even though Kasharawar is best known for its focus on mechanics, plenty of Kasharawar scholars are quite serious about sculpt. So if they rate your work, that's enough for us.
Who's we?
Myself and a few other scholars. Kashif, Daneshvar, come take a look.
Oh, well, if you insist...
Whoa! Where did that come from?
Look at the level of detail. It's so lifelike. The squirrel descends from the heavens like a champion, and the earth trembles beneath its feet. What do you think? Striking, isn't it?
Kaveh? Kaveh, come here for a sec. Oh, and Madame Faruzan, didn't you used to study in our darshan?
All right, but hang on a moment. I have to finish reviewing this proposal.
You called?
This squirrel's...
Oh, a squirrel. I wouldn't say cute per se. The realism is what stands out to me. Were you trying to carve a statue of a hero, young lady?
Oh, a hero? I suppose so. Actually, I didn't really have a specific theme in mind.
I see. Well, do you tend to read novels?
As a matter of fact, I do quite enjoy those. Everyone loves a good tale of daring do, right?
Then perhaps this statue represents the heroic tale you long to see deep down in... Also on the subject of heroism, I feel that if the subject posed with a finger raised towards the heavens, it would lend a great... I'm sure some would call it cliché or old-fashioned, but not me. I think it would be a perfect fit. It has this... Kaveh!
Sorry, Madame Faruzan, I'm a little busy right...
What a pity. That young man has excellent aesthetic tastes. I was hoping to ask him for his opinion.
What a genius idea! Why didn't I think of that? Classical beauty is a great direction to explore. That's it. Once I get back...
Precisely. A declaration of victory. You understand my vision. Then place the two statues face to face.
Yes! That's
It'll be a masterpiece, Miss...
Just call me Nicole.
What? Oh, no. That wouldn't be right.
Why ever not? Madam is a state of mind cultivated from within. Anyone may call me Madam if they... My dear Miss Nicole, once we make it through these trying times, should we have the pleasure of meeting again, in this day of age, it's rare to find people with an appreciation for classical aesthetics. Meeting you was truly a pleasant surprise.
Honestly, I feel the same way. It's been a long time since I met anyone interested in this style of statue. Clearly, they don't call you... Also, I have to say, you're a very good judge of character. Because when I think about it, I really am someone who likes stories about heroes. That must be why I've quietly kept watch over generations.
Sorry, keeping watch over heroes?
Never mind that.
Let's not tell Madame Faruzan about Miss Nicole's true identity for now.
Good idea. Let's limit the conversation to aesthetics.
Paimon! Thanks again for your notes. I'm done copying them, so... You're welcome! Just let Paimon know it.
What's wrong? You look a little depressed.
Kale got a fragment of the Goddess of Flowers, and all I got was one of the 7 pillars who served under King Deshret. I lost out, didn't I?
That's what you're upset about? You're such a child.
so many books. More than... But I've learned a lot that the textbooks could never teach me. I never realized that people in the distant past thought about some of the same questions we ponder today.
Good to finally meet you in the flesh. It's a little surreal seeing you here after exchanging letters for so long. In my head, the boss of the Curatorium of Secrets didn't look so young.
Sounds like you have some history then?
Any budding mercenary group needs a steady supply of intel. They, in turn, can prove an exceptional source of the same. The Curatorium of Secrets is happy to cooperate with friends from all over the world. If you're interested, you'd be very welcome to join our network.
Can't say no to a solid partnership, especially out here in the desert. Having intel can mean the difference between, but cooperation's built on mutual trust. And there isn't much contact between the desert and Nodcry. So, I'm guessing you reached out to Jet first, Miss Nefer? What's behind your interest in the desert? Nostalgia? Or is there someone you're looking to take care of? Let's put all our cards on the table first. Things will go more
I like your style, Flame Mane. Actually, I had this same discussion with Jet before we started working together. To be clear, I have no intention of using you for any ulterior motives. And I have no enemies in the desert as things stand now. Were that to change, I wouldn't drag outsiders into a conflict that doesn't concern them. There's no point in doing certain things if you don't do them yourself. Wouldn't you agree?
Well said. Taking responsibility for one's own affairs is the way of the desert folk. Huh. It's like you're one of us.
You sure that's a compliment?
Absolutely.
I'll take it. Perhaps we can discuss our cooperation in more detail.
Sure. I love working with no-nonsense people. And you certainly fit that description. I look forward to a fruitful part.
As do I, my friend.
I hope everyone's ready. We'll be arriving at our destination very shortly.
Stand with me!
Why, we've not seen so many visitors ever, really. What is this place now, a tourist attraction? Ah, closer inspection reveals many familiar faces. To what do we dusty old fellows owe the honor? Surely you're not just here to chat.
You surmise correctly. We are here to carry out a rather enormous project.
Ho, enormous, you say? How large, then? Larger than the gaping void in our lives? Why, you've even put a smile on Goatee and Crocco's faces. All this activity is making for quite the special day. I know that laugh. Lilipar? What on earth are you doing here?
Oh, this is hilarious. Turns out good things really do come to those who wait. As long as you stay alive long enough. When did you three get locked up in here? And still you act all high and mighty, putting on a show for the younglings. Truly hysterical.
Why, you? Yes, I know. No need to shout. You're right, Lilipar. Goatee, Crocco, and I all have the same problem. But didn't King Deshret seal you away? How did you break free, and how did you get in here?
Who knows?
Perhaps you can ask my master one day, should you ever get the— Behold, the executioners of old. Some have turned into fragments residing in human bodies, and others are imprisoned eternally, leaving not a single shard be— It's almost tragic, watching lowly prisoners like you act all self-important. Curiosity gnaws at you, doesn't it? Your interest in the outside world threatens to burst you at the seams.
Turf.
I'm starting to take a liking to this magic bottle lady.
Time is of the essence. We come to you, O three ancient lords, to request your assistance on behalf of the Academia. If we can help you regain your freedom, then please consider lending us your aid. As for precisely what we need your help with, it's a long story. So, to demonstrate our sincerity, we are prepared to first resolve the problems that plague the three of you.
All right, stop arguing, Croco. And Goatee, don't you start. What's the harm in letting her speak? It's not worth getting so angry about. Forget about her. The three questions are the crucial thing. But do you really have a way to answer them? You once answered the final question, Nefer, but the seal did not open. Unless, with the passage of time, you have found a new answer.
You could say so. When you first asked me what determines truth and falsehood, my answer was a liar's soul. Liars are the best at seeing through the falsehoods of the world. But if you want them to tell you the truth, you have to reach their soul.
I think that makes sense.
I found it quite compelling myself, and I told Nefer so. Unfortunately, it brought us no closer to liberation.
Well, that's simply because it was my answer, not the one King Deshret was looking for.
Can you guess which answer Al-Ahmar wanted then?
Time. And that's not only the answer to the final question, it's the answer to all three of them. All things wax and wane with the passage of time. Love and hate eventually fade into nothing. Current affairs are always fraught with conflict and controversy. Only time can distinguish between right and wrong. You once described King Deshret as a proud man. I'd say that the prouder someone is, the more inclined they are to believe that only time is qualified to be their judge.
Time. Well. Indeed. Perhaps in building Aru, our king was in fact attempting to reverse time, to bring love and hate, right and wrong, the rise and fall of all things back to their point of origin. This is the most eventful day I have experienced in a long time. You have my sincere gratitude.
Are those three of the 7 pillars?
Turns out the statues were quite faithful to the source.
You three seem to be in good spirits.
Prison can help a person grow and learn to cherish what they have. Nevertheless, after everything you've done for me, I sincerely hope you never have to experience it for yourself. Hello, Nefer.
It's good to see you, Thoth, the Ibis King.
Nice. Definitely puts my mind at ease, seeing you two getting along so well.
Should we maybe introduce ourselves, or...
Sure. I'm Sethos, the current leader of the Temple of Silence. This is General Mahamatra Sino, and this is the former Spantamot sage, Cyrus. But I'm guessing none of that means a whole lot to you.
Everything is equally new to us, in truth. We've been gone from this mortal world for longer than you can imagine.
Let's hold off on the introductions for now. We can always ask Nefer about you later. It'll give me something to talk about with my chosen disciple.
You're like a helpless parrot. Gods and people of yore are not necessarily welcome in today's world. Self-awareness is one of my finest qualities. I thought I ought to share its fruits with you two.
Is that so? Well, I think we'll take it in stride, just as we did with the 3 questions. Let's not forget, it was my persistence that won you both your freedom.
Fair point. I have to applaud your persistence.
And I must praise you for your wisdom. Now, state your wishes, young ones.
I'm sorry?
Why, your tremendous accomplishments deserve a reward, do they not? You must let us do something for you.
General Mahamat.
I won't beat around the bush. Sumeru is facing a crisis the likes of which have never been seen before. And we need...
Every calamity throughout the ages has been connected to us in one way or another, whether we were its cause or consequence.
Whatever is wrong with Irminsul, it severely affected the Dendro Archon. She fell into a coma, and is currently receiving treatment from the Dendro Dragon.
The Dendro Dragon? I'm sorry, the Dendro Dragon is helping to heal the Dendro Archon?
Not a pep, surely. Not vicious, cruel, a pep who possesses no virtues aside from her basic instincts. Ah, good heavens.
Oh, I shudder to think what could have caused Lesser Lord Kusanali to suffer such a plight. Still, why would the Dendro Dragon lend you her aid? She has always held nothing but contempt for the Archons. I suppose she and...
You can help us make history, too.
A smooth talker. Well said, lad.
Currently, no one can connect to Irminsul. We hope that by opening up Aru and making some modifications to it, we can use its technology to our advantage.
Unfortunately, Aru is an imperfect creation. King Deshret never managed to realize his full vision before his death. Much remains to be done if it is to be pitted against Irminsul itself. Besides, I hear your reasons, but to give Aru up over such would be...
The archaeological records clearly indicate that although Aru's construction took a long time, it was not beyond human means to achieve. Modern technology should solve the efficiency issues. We have no choice but to go all in.
This is by no means a threat. But the only reason we helped you escape from Aru was to gain the necessary leverage to negotiate with you. You asked us to state our wishes, and we have. Each one of us here needs your help, as do all the thousands of people living in Sumeru.
What do we think, my fellow old fogies? Shall we lend our support?
Since you ask so nicely, naturally.
Naturally what? Are you for or against?
I simply mean we shall do what comes naturally. You claim that you wish to open Aru. Know you then that the golden slumber created by King Deshret is preserved within?
We do. We understand the risks involved.
In all likelihood, the mortal world will never again be able to replicate King Deshret's work. Never will there be another chance to come so close to creating a utopia. Knowing this, are you sure of your decision?
We are sure. Before people can dream, they must first live.
If your minds are made up, very well. We shall summon our erstwhile colleagues to discuss this. Saint Shezepank, Saint Bennu, once you surrendered to silence and were buried with King Deshret. But now, we invoke the right to awaken you with...
Saint Bennu, responding to your call. 3 kings detected. Initiating autonomous will.
Saint Shezbank, responding to your call. 3 kings detected. Initiating autonomous will.
Ah, Lord Herreshoff. What a long time it has been. I trust you are keeping well.
Then your trust in my well-being has long outlived your physical body. You have always opened with that same phrase, in life, death, and now even beyond.
Al-Akmar is long gone. What is the reason for this meeting?
You're awake? Good. We are voting on whether to give the people of present-day Sumeru access to Aru and permit them to perform technological renovations. You have the right to support or oppose the motion.
Aru is the pride of Al-Ahmar. Opening Aru requires the unanimous consent of the 7 pillars. I hope you have a convincing reason to present to us.
Sumeru is currently in the midst of a major calamity. Let us not forget that while Al-Ahmar was a stern ruler, he was also a teacher of wisdom. A god without his people shall cease to exist, and King Deshret's greatest wish was to provide protection for his people. Let us then honor our God King's wishes as we consider our decision.
I do not mean to mock these proceedings, but what is the point of a unanimous vote when we know that the last of the 7 pillars, the Dendro Dragon Apep, will never communicate with...
This will no doubt surprise your mechanical mind, and I have no intention of trying to persuade you it is true. But Apep is, in fact, healing the Dendro Archon as we speak.
Huh? Can someone attest to this? Do we have any...
I ask the 3 kings. Can any of you...
Naturally, the Ibis King, Thoth.
What?
It was Thoth's disciples who revealed the truth to us. We need not debate its veracity. Simply let Thoth bear accountability. That way the rest of us may have a clear conscience.
Harishef, you diabolical fiend!
I awakened our former colleagues for you, supported your opinion, and backed your decision. What sort of fiend would do that?
I miss the days when Hermanubis was still around. At times like this, he would offer to take accountability.
What are you trying to say? Is my word worth less to you than Hermanubis's?
Hypocrite though you are, Lord Thoth, you are humorous in equal measure. How could we bear not to associate with a character such as you? I, Saint Shezpank, approve the Goat King's proposal.
Since King Deshret is no more, we shall receive no reprimand for acting beyond our remit. Nevertheless, I sincerely hope that those before us understand the significance. Remember, the moment that Aru is liberated, the myriad souls residing within the Golden Slumber will return to the ley lines. And once the ley lines flow again, these souls shall in turn be received by Ermines. To take this step is to bring the perfect afterlife created by our king to a permanent end.
We understand that well, and we have decided to proceed regardless. Furthermore, the contemporary human perspective would contend that confining souls in this way is no act of benevolence. The deceased have a right to rest in peace.
King Deshret's creation is clearly a place of rest and peace. It is just that many do not see it this way. But no matter. Saint Benu approves.
Hermanubis' representative and the Dendro Dragon Apep made their choice ahead of time, while the Goat King, Ibis King, and Crocodile King have also granted permission to liberate Aru. By the grace of His Majesty, guided by his wisdom and will, let the gates of Aru be reopened.
What's this? Are we under attack? No. Wait, it's...
Here you are. Through the sands of time. I see you.
Father. Father, is it really you?
It's Jet's father, Jibriel! That's right! He entered the Golden Slumber, didn't he?
I smell blood and sand on you. You've grown. Strong as a wild beast, and without shedding a tear.
You have to leave, don't you? Please, just answer me this. What should I do for you?
This meeting is a blessing from the gods. My soul once imprisoned along with that of Semail, is finally free. I am truly grateful for the chance to see you again. That the dead should meet the living is itself a miracle. One brief, precious moment is enough. Enough to set my heart at ease. Do not weep for me, Jet. I know you will accomplish many great things in your life. You will go further and climb higher than I ever did. All I ask is that you take good care.
Father! Father! Father.
Hey, Jet. Do you want something to eat?
I'm fine. Thanks, Paimon. It was just a little sudden. The chance to see my father again meant the world to me. He was trapped in the golden slumber for our sake. And now, after all this time...
You've grown strong, Jet. More than enough to fend for yourself.
Yeah. I'll leave the past in my memory where it belongs. My family, the good times and the bad. Goodbye, Father.
Ah, me, what a touching reunion that was. It seems we did a good deed to...
We three retainers, once imprisoned for our iniquity, are surely the least qualified to judge whether this deed is good or bad. Either way, Aru is open. Now you have your opportunity, and with it, whatever trouble may ensue. Although Aru was created by a god, human craftsmanship was nevertheless required to build the gate that connects it to this world. Perhaps the relationship between gods and humanity follows a similar principle.
As for your proposed renovations, we cannot determine which functions to keep or discard. Proceed as you see fit, but please entrust the task to your most accomplished scholars, or Bennu will be most displeased.
It matters not. The Ibis King shall be accountable if any problems arise. Ibis, you chose to take on disciples, and so it follows that you must accept the risks of associating with humans.
If I'd known you'd be like this, I would have locked all of you away in Aru, never to leave again for all eternity.
All of us? What does this have to do with me?
Vilify me no further. Scholars, since you have liberated Aru, allow me to present you with... Using Aru's power, we shall install a defense mechanism at our king's mausoleum. You must be guarded even against Irminsul itself. This shall afford you some convenience. Unseen and unheard. From this moment forth, none may by sight or hearing perceive anything said or done within the mausoleum.
Amazing. And all this is achieved just with the power of Aru?
With technology from the heavens, the possibilities are endless. Just because King Deshret did not use it for this purpose does not mean that it cannot be done. So, marvel away. This is the reward you have earned.
All right. Well, that resolves the issue of confidentiality. What about the technical side? Do we have the manpower?
Why, yes. I've already contacted them. They'll be here soon.
You must be the ones tasked by the Academia with renovating Aru?
That's right. Good afternoon. I'm Kaveh, and these two are Termezi and Naisaburi. Hey, I'll hate them!
We've met before. This is Thoth, the Ibis King, and everyone knows these two.
I've only ever seen these two in mural.
Ah, the paintings in the temple. They show us chatting, playing cards, playing chess. Precisely the activities we most enjoy, funnily enough.
No, only you enjoy playing chess. We were just humoring.
I wouldn't go that far.
Back to the matter at hand. A preliminary assessment by the academia indicates that this project requires expertise in various disciplines, including the deciphering of ancient texts, mechanical engineering, the restoration of ancient ruins, and elemental theory. The most capable minds in their respective fields are here before you. If there are no objections,
The artisans who built Aru for Al-Ahmar gave their very lives to create this splendid work. Follow their example by giving your utmost devotion to this project.
I didn't know that. We'll do our best, of course, but we certainly won't be sacrificing our lives.
Such brazen words. Humans these days are a far cry from their ancestors. What little respect you show for King Deshret.
No, that's not what he meant. Please, don't mind him. He shares your sentiments, just not your, penchant for hyperbole. Assuming that's what you were going for?
I just think it's important to manage expectations.
Forgive my lack of courtesy, but we simply can't sacrifice our lives to the gods on completion of the project like people in the legends of old. Here's a first draft of the project proposal for your perusal. Please let us know if you have any requests. Normally, I'd have made it look a lot more visually appealing, but we were really pressed for time on this occasion.
Naturally.
If my fellow ministers deem this meager display of respect sufficient, I suppose I can consider agreeing to their proposal.
Why are you so preoccupied with the ostentatious displays of respect to Al-Ahmar? We should be trying to make things easy for them. You never know. We might have to rely on these young people to look after us in our old age.
Exactly.
This is Aru's mainframe. Be reminded to use it with great caution.
We certainly will.
You may attempt to lay out punishment should you so desire, though I'm afraid it would be futile. You and I both know that certain components of Aru can only be operated.
King Deshret always believed in humanity. Still, the reason that Aru's modules are designed that way is not so much because he trusted them, but more because he was wary of you.
Is that true? No wonder human artisans helped to build Aru then. He actually required human assistance to create his greatest work.
Naturally.
Have you noticed that the Goat King keeps giving superficial responses? It's like he's just going through the motions and leaving the real debate to his colleagues.
He understands the art of perfunctory speech. That's what earned him his position as the Minister of Ministers. It seems the rumors about King Deshret being a poor judge of character are baseless after all.
Excuse me for being blunt, but it sounds suspiciously like you're putting yourself on a pedestal and mocking me.
You're mistaken. And while there's nothing strictly wrong with making every conversation about yourself, it's not exactly a positive tendency either.
You? Whatever. I knew it'd be like this working with you. All right, let me past. I need to look at this console.
It's your job to activate it after all. Let's begin. Everyone, please proceed with the external checks and preparations as per the procedures outlined in the engineering plan.
Hello there, youngsters.
Whoa, the Ibis King came to...
What do you mean, came to life? I've been...
You did say we could start our research, right? Are you happy?
I've reviewed the proposal. The work you're planning to carry out on this grand device is ambitious in its scope. You have ample confidence in your abilities, I take it?
I wouldn't say I'm feeling hugely confident. But given how bad things are, I'd rather at least try something than sit around waiting to die.
You are the top scholars of your day. I trust you are aware that there are countless links between Aru and the Akasha?
Aru and the Akasha? I thought the Akasha was the Academia's greatest technological accomplishment, created
years ago by the Dendro Archon.
And you too? Do you not know either?
You've read the instruction manual.
An instruction manual? The Akasha has an instruction manual? The Dendro Archon?
It used to sit on a shelf in the corner at the House of Dana. Not the most If the manual is to be believed, Aru was in fact the original inspiration for the Akasha system.
What? But there are so few records about Aru anywhere. And practically none of the scientific expeditions into the desert had anything.
Ah, but this is something you could not possibly have known. You may have heard many stories about the desert, but what is the most important aspect of history? Consider this a quiz. Anyone from Vahumana present?
I'm from Vahumana.
Precisely. And a large part of veracity is the chronological order in which events occur. I may as well tell you. In the beginning, Nabu Malikata, the goddess of flowers, descended upon Sumeru. The glory of the heaven was within her. She brought life, oases, and knowledge to this land. Then she created the Jinn, enlightened them, and ordered them to serve her. 2 other gods also walked upon this land where wisdom flowed in abundance, and the 3 met beneath the great green trees. It was the first and greatest alliance. We should speak with reverence of this covenant between the 3, which transcended both time and life. For they promised that in Sumeru, wisdom would be shared with all. All the great changes in Sumeru's history began with the goddess of flowers. For King Deshret's sake, she pried into the secrets of Celestia, and for this was burned to ashes by the flames of wrath. So grieved was King Deshret by her passing that he lost all interest in state affairs and devoted himself instead to the knowledge that she had brought back. It was after learning of the technology from that floating island in the sky that he first conceived of Aru. And so, the Akasha was inspired by Aru, while the basis for Aru itself came from Celestia's technology.
Well, if the 2 share a common technological origin, then connecting one system to the other is an entirely feasible idea.
Unbelievable. Have you no reverence at all for celestial technology?
No, I do, but there's no time for that. The schedule is too tight. Blame it on the deadline.
Perhaps you could try coming up with our cutoff dates.
You know what it's like having to turn around 5 different drafts in one day? I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy.
Yeah, also, Sir Ibis King, you don't plan on getting directly involved at all, do you?
Yes, well, you strike us more as having come to give a popular science lecture. Or, wait, does this count as more of a first-hand witness statement?
Neither. Anyway, this sounds like far too much work for me.
Still, if Aru is so powerful, why didn't King Deshret use it for more ambitious ends?
Because it was never fully completed. King Deshret had grand plans, but he perished before they could come to fruition. In the beginning, his wish was to create something that could rival the very world itself. The Lord of Flowers sacrificed everything for that ambition. What he desired, she bestowed, and thus was knowledge brought into the world. Her courage and sacrifice had to be honored with the most splendid of monuments, or King Deshret would surely have deemed it a grave injustice. And that monument, built from knowledge and technology, etched with a sacrificial and courageous love, even in its unfinished form, it deserves to be treasured. At that time, King Deshret said the following to the Lord of Dendro. Since we share an eternal covenant, I shall never be your enemy. Hence, the fruit of wisdom from the heavens is not to be devoured. Remember, it is not that I lack the power to become the enemy of wisdom. Yet you and she have taught me much and shown me kindness. For this, I cherish you both. In the end, Aru was only used to store a portion of the souls. It was but a primitive form of the masterwork the king had envisaged. His final hope for Aru was to return to the past, when she yet lived.
So the point you're making is, King Deshret was both powerful and ambitious, and he only ceased his imperious ways out of affection for the goddess of flowers and the Dendro Archon. You could see this as an act of mercy, but you could also see it as the sentiments that lay between these three gods placing constraints on him. This was, after all, the foundation of the alliance between them.
This explains why Aru was both a prison and a monument, and why the answer to the three questions was time.
You have to be careful who you get involved with, or you invite all manner of misfortune. This is as true for gods as it is for humans. Love is the same. It is both a prison and a monument. All right, let us pause the story here for now. Seeing as you've been so diligent, I'll offer a little help. Who's in charge again? Is it you two?
Ah, yes, me and him.
Now then, close your eyes. Wisdom hides in the space between the tangible and the intangible. It is to convey the incommunicable through the simplest of mediums. By the power of King Deshret, I shall grant you a glimpse into the unseen secrets that lie at the threshold of existence.
Where did this come from? Is it a new mechanism?
It looks more like some form of externalized information. You've rendered it visible?
Just as the Akasha allows you to access a greater range of knowledge, the power of our king permits one to perceive ingenuities that do not belong to this world. This is no ordinary mechanism. It reflects the internal structure of Aru. Whether you choose to increase or decrease, keep or discard. Come, use these to achieve the outcome you desire.
Looks mechanical to me. Better let me handle it, just in case. But wait, how?
Turn around.
So that's where the elevator is! Obelisks were used to record important information in the ancient desert civilization. Hey, Alhaitham, there's some writing here I'll need you to decipher. I've sent it to your screen. Do you see it?
Got it. It's a little blurry, but I should manage.
Take a look and tell me what it says. Oh, and I'll send any other similar text directly to you from now on.
Let's start with this one. It's a variant of an older script. Herein lie verses written for the Yellow Sand. Looks like cultural information from the age of King Deshret.
If so, I suggest you delete it.
Words thrown together merely for fun. I had no idea Aru kept a record of this.
Well, as long as you're certain that this is strictly private information, that's fine.
It is unimportant.
All right, well, I guess I'll start now. Found some more. Sending them over to you now.
These are all reports about the Gurubad conflict.
Can we delete them?
I'd say so. Most of this information has already been archived anyway.
What if there are details in there that Vahumana missed? What are we supposed to do if they come after us in the future?
They'll just have to live with it. If we don't resolve these issues now, there won't even be an academia in the future, let alone a Vahumana Darshan.
Yeah, you're right. There's some other similar monuments nearby. I'll check. Another monument.
Hold on.
You're still reading it?
It records the development and governance of the Oasis civilization. Most of it concerns the Jinn, but it also contains records left by the artisans who built Aru.
Is it important?
Some of it. There was no way for me to read the whole thing in its entirety, so I had to rely on my intuition to pick the...
What about the artisans' records? What do they mention?
They're speculations, mostly. For instance, they were wondering how to protect themselves if King Deshret decided to silence them after the construction of Aru was complete.
Sounds like pure mythology to me. Surely that kind of thing didn't really happen.
The records do emphasize that this was merely their conjecture based on various myths. Still, the artisans did leave details of their plans to survive, including blueprints for their escape route.
Even that got recorded? Okay, well, I'll make a copy of this first before I delete it.
Is that truly necessary? You won't be needing those.
No, the blueprints are important. I want to keep them as a memento. I think that should just about...
It meets the requirements of the contingency plans, so we should be good.
I gotta say, it's the strangest feeling. This cross between reality and the intangible. It's like drifting between life and death. Or in and out of a dream. Using my own hands to manipulate illusions that are forever out of...
Chasing dreams in the most literal sense. Definitely a novel experience.
What happens if my spirit just...
That won't happen. Anyway, I wouldn't celebrate just yet if I were you. There's likely to be a phase 2 of...
All right. I'd better keep my...
Traveler from afar, do you worry for the fate of Sumeru as...
Whoa! It's so big the
Greetings, crocodile.
Please be at ease. I'm just here to chat with you about less.
Sounds like you really care about her.
Yes, although to be exact, it is a mixture of both concern and curiosity.
Speaking of Nahida, Paimon was wondering how.
Wait a moment.
What is it?
I tried calling out to a pep, but there was. This can only mean that she is focusing all her energy.
All the gods who served King Deshret seemed super surprised to hear that a pep agreed to help Nahida. Guessing she made a bad impression on you or something.
Are you aware of the history between her and our king? The story begins a long time ago. Al-Ahmar was always a wishful thinker where the Dendro dragon was concerned. Without consulting her, he decided to list her among the 7 pillars and declared his own power to be far superior to. That was when our king was at the height of his power. Ibis Goti and I were no match for him, and so we chose to submit and serve as his ministers. But not a pep. No, she never thought much of. To a pep, Al-Ahmar's pride and sense of superiority were nothing but ignorance and hubris. In fact, they fought numerous times, but usually the battle ended in a draw. In the end, King Deshret coveted the power of Celestia, only to end up corrupted by knowledge. His final act was to trick the dragon into swallowing him whole, leaving her to bear the torment of his sins. The Dendro dragon stands for the glory of a bygone era. She hated Al-Ahmar and what he represented. All the gods, all the power they wielded. And so, her willingness to help the Dendro Archon through this crisis comes as a great surprise indeed. It makes one wonder whether, perhaps, the Dendro Archon assisted her in the past.
Yep, Nahida did her a huge.
So Lesser Lord Kusanali put an end to the Dendro Dragon's many long years of torment. As much as she loathes the 7, a pep knows kindness when she sees it. No wonder she was willing to make an exception.
Yeah, that's the sense we got from dealing with her too.
She is not incapable of coexisting with other living things. Rather, she actively chooses to avoid coexistence. And this despite the fact that she symbolizes life itself. How ironic. All of this being said, I wouldn't expect too much from her if I were you. Nothing will change her hatred to—
We'll keep that in mind. Anyway, how much longer do you think Nahida needs to stay with the pep? For all we know, the Fatui might still be in the desert. Just to be on the safe side, why don't we grab anyone who isn't busy right now and go— I'm alright, Paimon. Huh? Was that Nahida's voice?
It seems the treatment was effective.
Since when do my deeds require your evaluation?
Here will do just fine.
I had no intention of taking you any further. One ought not expect greater generosity than they have earned.
You always hide your kindness away like an oasis within a sandstorm. Only those who make it through the swirling winds can know just how beautiful that oasis is. And how much hope—
You dare appraise my—
No, I'm expressing my gratitude. I want to thank you for sharing your
Awake already? You are more resilient than I thought.
Pep, I feel much better. Thank you.
Gods and their gratitude mean little to me. I would rather you give me your assurance that the situation with Irminsul and Sumero's ley lines will— If I suffer any ill effects from the ley lines, you, as the god of this land, will be held responsible. And you would not enjoy being—
I understand what you require, but I would assume this task even if you did not demand it. Sumero is my responsibility. I must resume my—
A farcical notion. God of Sumeru, I hope you realize how unextraordinary your strength is.
And yet, maybe it is precisely what defines me. A god of wisdom is not meant to rule by force.
Then hold steady. We go forth.
Well, I'll be. Is that a pep? Do my eyes deceive me? Of all places, the Dendro Dragon has decided to visit the mausoleum of King Deshret?
PlayStation